All right. Welcome to today's match. It's a non-conference match between the Wildcats of Napoleon and the Bulldogs of Defiance. Somebody out there can give me a thumbs up on the chat and make sure that the audio is good. Appreciate it. All right, up first for Napoleon, the girls, Abby Detmer on lane number 5. And she starts out with 7, a little light. Leaves the 1-2-4. Jalen Rupel on lane number 7 starts with 9, leaves a 10 pin. Defiance starts out with a strike on lane 6 and leaves the bowler on lane number 8, leaves the 10 pin. Abby with her spare attempt covers that nicely. Jalen also picks up hers on lane 7. Thank you for the confirmation that the audio is good. All right, up on lane 5 for Napoleon, we've got Carly Hohenbrink. And on lane number 7, Spencer Schweiger. Carly starts out with a strike. That was a nice looking ball. Spencer, first ball, first frame. Can't get the 7 pin to fall, it's 9. Defiance with their spare attempt on lane 6 leaves 2. We've got Ella Fox up on lane 5. She gets a strike to start things off. Switching over to the boys. We've got Defiance up on lane 2. Gets a strike. Ashton Kiesling up for Napoleon on lane number 3. Abby Detmer with a strike on lane number 6 for the girls. Ashton gets a split, gets 8. We've got Preston Miller up on lane number 4, picks up 9. Looks like he leaves the 4 pin. Michael Gallagher up on lane number 2 for Napoleon. First ball hits a little light, leaves 1-2-4-10. Carly Hohenbrink gets 9, leaves the 4 pin. Defiance a little light on lane number 5, gets 7 pins. Defiance misses their spare on lane number 7. Carly trying to pick up her spare here. Michael Gallagher picks up 3 out of the 4 on his spare attempt over on lane number 2. Carly picks up her spare and brings up, let's see, Ella Fox on lane number 6 and Jalen Rupel up on lane number 8. First, we got Defiance cleaning up their spare on lane number 5. Over on lane number 7, Defiance with their first ball. Gets 8. Ella with her first ball in the second frame. It's a little light. Leaves the 4-5-7. Jalen Rupel, nice ball. Strike on lane 8. Abby Detmer coming up for Napoleon. Looks good. That's a strike for Abby. Back-to-back strikes for Abby. Ellis on lane 6 to pick up her spare. Then we got Spencer Schweiger on lane number 8. Ella gets 2. Spencer gets 9, leaves a 7 pin. Carly a little heavy, leaves the 4 pin. Over on the boys' side, we've got Ashton up on lane number 4. Gets the strike, gets the 7 pin to fall. Michael Gallagher with a spare over on lane number 1. Defiance, a little heavy, ends up splitting, leaves the 4-6 on lane number 2. Another split for Defiance over on lane number 3. We've got James Gherkin Sr. with a strike over on lane number 1 for Napoleon. Ella Fox is up on the girls, lane number 5. She hits a little heavy, it splits, leaves the 4-6-7. Preston Miller up on lane number 3 for Napoleon. He's a little light, leaves the 1-2. Defiance up on lane number 4 for the boys. It looks a little heavy, gets 9, leaves the 9-pin. Jalen Rupel up for the girls, trying to cover a split, gets 1. Lane number 7. Defiance hits a little way heavy, leaves the 1-3-6. Picks up 7 on her first ball. Spencer Schweiger up on lane number 7. Gets 9, can't get the 10-pin to fall. Defiance with their spare attempt on lane number 6. And it's first ball for Defiance on lane number 8. Lane number 8, it was light. Lane number 6, she picks up 1. Or, no, I'm sorry, she picks up her spare. My mistake. Spencer picks up her spare. Abby Detmer up for Napoleon, lane number 6. Can't get the 10-pin to fall. It's 9. Defiance with their spare attempt on lane number 8 gets them to fall. First ball for Defiance, lane number 7. She gets the strike. Jalen Rupel up for Napoleon on lane number 8. Abby looking to cover her spare, trying to pick up the 10. Jalen, little heavy, ends up splitting on her. It leaves the 4-6. Abby covers the 10. All right. James Gherkin, he splits, leaves the 4-6 on lane number 2. Defiance gets 9, leaves the 5-pin on lane number 1. Defiance hits heavy on lane number 3, leaving the 3-6-9, or 3-6-10, I'm sorry. Jacob Hull for Napoleon up on lane number 4, hits a little light, ends up leaving the 1-2-8. James can't convert his spare. Defiance misses their spare on lane number 1, but he picks it up on lane number 3. Carly with a spare attempt on lane number 6 picks hers up. Jacob picks up his spare attempt on lane number 4 for Napoleon. Ella Fox up for the girls on lane number 6. Hits a little light. Ends up leaving the 2-7. Ashton Kiesling up on lane number 4. Splits through the middle. He ends up leaving the 2-4. 8-10. Defiance on lane 2 or lane 3 gets 7 of them. Defiance can't pick up their split on lane 2. That's an open for them. James Gherkin up on lane number 1. First ball. Can't get the 10-pin to fall. Ashton with his spare attempt gets 3. Ella with her spare attempt, she gets both of them to fall. James looking for his 10-pin. Can't get it. All right, we've got Jalen Rupel trying to pick up a 7 here on lane number 7. He's coming off of a spare in frame number 4. Trying to make back-to-back spares here. She gets it to fall. Carly Hohenbrink with her spare attempt on the 4-7, picks it up on lane number 5. Carly's working on a string of spares. She's got spares in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th frames now. Ella Fox up on lane number 5. Spencer Schweiger up on lane number 7 for Napoleon. Spencer again battling the 10-pin. Ella leaves the 4-pin standing. Defiance loses one on lane number 6. Lane number 7 hits light, ends up leaving the 2-4-5. Spencer with her spare attempt on lane number 7. And the 10-pin goes down that time. Ella looking to pick up her 4-pin. And she nudges it. It goes down. All right, we've got Defiance up on lane 1. Hits heavy, leaves the 3-6-9. Ashton Kiesling up on lane number 3, also hits heavy. Ends up leaving the 3-pin. Defiance picks up their spare on lane number 4. Defiance girls, lane number 5. Hits heavy, but they go down. Brooklyn. Ashton looking to pick up his spare. We got Preston Miller coming up next on lane number 4 for Napoleon. Gets it started out there, comes back. That's a strike for Preston. Defiance is up on lane number 3. Heavy, but he gets it to go. That's a strike for Defiance. Jacob Hull on lane number 4. Can't get it to come all the way back and ends up leaving a 1-2-4-10. Michael Gallagher up on lane number 2 for Napoleon. Hits the pocket. They all fall down. That's a strike for Michael. Defiance, lane number 3, gets a strike. Jacob looking to pick up his spare here. James Gherkin on lane number 2 for Napoleon gets a strike. And Jacob picks up the 1-2-4-10 for his spare. All right, Ella's trying to pick up her spare on lane number 6 for Napoleon, does so. Ashton Kiesling a little light on lane number 4, leaves 2. Carly Hohenbrink up on lane number 5. Good looking ball. Strike. That's 2 strikes in a row for Carly. She's getting it dialed in. Defiance up on lane number 7. She gets the strike. Defiance on lane number 8. Another strike for Defiance. Ella up for Napoleon, lane number 5. Hits light, leaves the 1-2-8. Jalen Ruppel up for Napoleon, lane number 7. Can't get the 10-pin to fall. That's 9 for Jalen. Defiance, their spare attempt, lane number 6. Leaves it too far to the right. Ella with her spare attempt, lane number 5. Gets it. Jalen looking to pick up her spare, lane number 7. Covers it. That's a spare for Jalen Ruppel. Defiance with an ugly split. The 4-6 or 4-7-10 picks up 2. Another spare attempt for Defiance on lane number 4. He covers that one. Looks like Riley Ehlers on lane number 3 for Napoleon. Misses his spare attempt. Michael Gallagher up for Napoleon next on lane number 2. Gets them all. Strike. Defiance with a strike for the girls on lane number 5. Defiance can't convert their spare on lane number 1. James Gherkin up for Napoleon, lane number 2. Gets 7, 8, or I'm sorry, 6. Leaves the 1, 2, 8, 10. Defiance with a strike though on lane number 4. Preston Miller up for Napoleon on lane number 4. Hits in the pocket. That's a strike for Preston. James Gherkin trying to pick up the spare here, at least pick up 3. He gets the 3. Defiance on lane number 3. Hits heavy, splits, leaving the 4-10. Jacob Hull up for Napoleon next, lane number 4. Good ball, strike. Carly Hohenbrink trying to pick up the 10 pin in her spare. Nope, I think she lost that out into the gutter. Defiance up on lane 7 as we get a score correction on lane 6. Hits a little light. Leaves the 1, 2, 4, 8. Ella Fox up on lane number 6. That hits a little light. Leaves the 2, 4, 5, 7. Abby Detmer coming up on lane number 5 for Napoleon. Good looking ball. Strike. Strike for Abby at Napoleon. Defiance with her spare attempt gets... Oh, they all fall. I wasn't sure that last one was going to fall, but she gets it. Ella with her spare attempt gets 2. Carly Hohenbrink coming up for Napoleon, lane number 5, followed by Jalen Rupel on lane number 7. Carly with a strike. Jalen, first ball, gets the strike. It's a strike in the 9th for Jalen. Meanwhile, Napoleon girls, Abby, Carly, both have strikes in the 9th. Ella's coming up for her 9th frame. Spencer's coming up for her 9th frame. And that's a strike for Ella. And that 10 pin, and again for Spencer. She can't get it to fall. All right, we got the boys. Look like lanes 1 and 2 are on the 10th frame. Lanes 3 and 4 are working on their 9th frame. Preston Miller looking to get a spare in the 9th. Leaves it too far to the inside. Spencer converted her 10 pin for the girls for Napoleon. Michael Gallagher, light. Leaves the 1, 2, 4 to start out the 10th frame. Defiance, light. Leaving the 2, 4, 6, 10. That's a strike for Jacob on lane number 3. Riley Ehlers comes up for his 9th frame. He's working on a spare in the 8th. He gets 9. Can't get the 10 pin to fall. Defiance with a strike over on lane number 1. Defiance gets 2 of the 4 on lane number 4. James Gherkin starting the 10th. Gets 8 of them to fall. Leaves the 4-8. Abby hit light, leaving the 1, 2, 4, 7. Basically the left side of the rack. Jalen Rupel. She's got a strike to start the 10th. This is her second ball. Ooh, gets 8, leaves the 4-6. Abby covers hers, so she'll get a fill ball. Preston picks up his spare in the 10th over on lane number 4. Defiance Girls gets 8, leaves the 8-10. Jalen trying to at least get 1 here. Nope. She was trying to go for both of them. Defiance trying to take out the 10 pin, does so, lane 7. Abby with her final ball of the 10th frame. Abby finishes with a 244. Jalen Rupel finishes with a 201. Spencer a little light. Leaves the 128. Let's see, we've got Michael Gallagher over there with a 173. I think James Gherkin was over there with a 146. Ashton Kiesling looks like he's got a 205. Carly Holmbrink with a strike to start the 10th. Spencer picks up her spare. Gets us another strike for Carly. It's 2 in the 10th. Defiance with a strike, lane number 7. Spencer, final ball, 10th frame. Gets 9 for a 176. Jacob Hull finished with a 221. Carly's last ball gets 6, finishes with a 209. The 7-pin wobbles for Defiance on lane 7, but it won't go down. Ella Fox leaves it too far outside. Gets 7, leaving the 124. Riley Ayler started the 10th with a strike. That's on lane number 4. Defiance gets their spare on lane number 7. Riley gets 9, leaving the 7. Ella can't convert the spare. Riley trying to pick up the last pin. Finishes with a 151. I think there was a substitution in there, if I remember correctly. All right, so that concludes both games. Game 1 for both the boys and the girls. Defiance, bowler 1 for the boys had 181. Second bowler 168. Third bowler 156. Fourth bowler 171. Last bowler 158. For the girls for Defiance, it was 145, 119, 167, 142, and 179. Once I get the totals, I'll announce them. All right. Just to recap, we had Abby Detmer with 244, Ella Fox 142, Jalen Ruppel 201, Spencer Schweiger 176, Carly Hohenbrink 209, for a total of, looks like 872. And then we've got Defiance 145, 119, 167, 142, 179, for a total of 752. Boys scores. Michael Gallagher, 173. James Gherkin, 146. Jacob Hull, 221. Preston Miller, 205. And Ashton and Riley combined for as a sub, 157, for a total of 896. Defiance had a 181, 168, 156, 171, 158, for a total of 834. All right, and the boys, Michael Gallagher gets started with a strike. Preston Miller up on lane number 4 for the boys also gets a strike. Defiance gets 9, leaves a 7-pin on lane 1 and gets 8, leaving the 310 baby split on lane number 3. Riley Ehlers with 9, leaving the 10-pin, and Jacob Hull on lane number 4 with a strike. Moving back to the girls. Looks like Carly Hohenbrink just got a strike to start the first frame. Ella Fox up on lane number 6. Hits a little bit light. Leaves 2, leaves the 2-5. Heather McMahon up on lane number 8 for Napoleon. Gets them all to fall. That's a strike for Heather. Ashton picks up his spare on lane number 4. Defiance picks up 3-4 on their first ball, lane number 5. Defiance trying to pick up their spare on lane number 7. Leaves it a little bit too far out. Only picks up 1. Ella with her spare attempt. Covers it. All right, Defiance on lane number 5. She pushes or pulls that one. Michael Gallagher, that's back-to-back strikes for him over on lane number 1. Defiance on lane number 2. He gets a strike. Jacob Hull with a strike for Napoleon on lane number 3. Riley Ehlers gets 8, leaves a 310. Defiance picks up their spare on lane number 4. Ashton Kiesling, lane number 3, strike. Riley, spare attempt coming. Gets 1. Jalen Ruppel coming up for Napoleon Girls on lane number 7. And Carly Hohenbrink up on lane number 5. Abby had an 8 spare with her last frame. That's 9. Or I'm sorry, that's 5 and 4. That's 9 total for Jalen. Carly gets 8, leaving the 4-7. Defiance gets 5 on their first attempt. Heather McMahon, lane number 7. A little heavy. Gets a little help. Leaves just 1. It's a 6-pin down there. Carly. Oh, a cut over just at the end. She picks up 1. That looked good, and then all of a sudden it dug in and shot off for the gutter. Ella up for Napoleon, lane number 5. Looks good, a little heavy. 369 left. Heather, spare attempt on the way, gets it. Abby Detmer, lane number 6 for Napoleon. Jalen Rupel, lane number 8. Jalen with a strike, and Abby, 10-pin left. 10-pin has been aggravating today. Ella with her spare attempt. Chops, gets 1. Heather McMahon up on lane number 8. Abby with her spare attempt, lane number 6. Abby gets her spare. Heather. Oh, wobbles the 7, but can't get it to fall. Defiance, lane number 2. Leaves the 10-pin. Ashton up on lane number 4 for Napoleon boys. Strike. 2 in a row for him. Eight for Defiance on lane number 3, leaving the 210. Michael Gallagher up on lane number 1, coming off of a spare. Gets 9, leaving the 5-pin. Defiance looking to get their spare on lane number 2, does so. Defiance girls with a strike on lane number 5. Defiance boys, lane number 2. That's a strike. Michael Gallagher looking to pick up his spare, lane number 1. Gets it. Defiance girls, lane number 7. Gets 9. Can't get the 10-pin to go down. Ella Fox up on lane number 6 for Napoleon. Hits heavy, splits. Leaves the 3, 4, 6, 9, 10. Defiance picked up 9 on their first attempt on lane number 7. Going after the 10-pin. Misses it just inside. Abby Detmer over on lane number 5. Gets 7. Leaves the 6, 9, 10. That's a strike for Defiance. Over on lane number 8. Jalen Rupel for Napoleon. She gets a strike. That's back-to-back strikes. Ella with an ugly spare attempt. Ends up picking up 2 of the 4. Abby Detmer with her spare attempt. Gets it. Michael Gallagher, spare attempt underway, lane 2. Gets it. Ashton up on lane number 3 for Napoleon. Gets 8. Well, it says 9. I see 2 pins, but it says 9. Riley Ehlers, strike on number 2. Preston Miller, 9. Leaves the 10 pin on lane number 4. Ashton picks up his spare. Preston gets his spare. Defiance 9 on lane number 2 leaves the 10 pin. Jacob Hull, well, first Defiance on lane number 3, followed by Jacob Hull on lane number 4. Defiance with a strike. Back-to-back strikes for Defiance. Jacob. Strike. Ashton coming up on lane number 4 for Napoleon Boys. He gets a strike. Now we've got all the Defiance bowlers bowling at this point, so Defiance girls lose one to the right on lane 8. Spare attempt lane number 7. Picks up a couple. Spare attempt on lane number 6. Gets it for Defiance. All right, Abby Detmer coming up for Napoleon on lane number 6. Defiance pulls it on lane number 8. Gets 6. Abby Detmer can't get it to come back. Leaves 1, 2, 4, 7. Defiance, lane number 7. A little heavy. Leaves a split of 4, 6, 7. 10 was up there, but it decided to fall down. Defiance up on lane number 5. Light, leaving the 1, 2, 4, 8. Abby with her spare attempt. Gets them to crash into one another. They all go down. Defiance trying to pick up at least 2 on lane number 7. That's what she does. She leaves 1. Carly Hohenbrink waiting for Defiance on lane number 5. Jalen Rupel coming up on lane number 7. Spare attempt underway. She picks it up. Defiance gets their spare. Carly up on lane number 6. Jalen lets go. 7 pin won't fall for Jalen. Carly underway. Strike. Nice ball. Defiance light on lane 5, picks up 5, leaving the 1, 2, and most of the back row, 7, 8, 9. Jalen spare attempt, picks up the 7 easily. L on lane 6, light again, leaves the 2, 5. Heather Mcmahon coming up for Napoleon, lane number 7. Underway. Looks like 9. Nope, 8. Leaves a 2, 8. Ella, spare attempt, covers it. Michael Gallagher on lane number 2 picks up 5. Leaves the 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Jacob Hull, lane number 4. That's a strike for Jacob. Defiance trying to clean up their spare on lane 3, does so. Abby Detmer over on lane number 5. Goes after her 10 pin, gets it. Ashton's got 2 strikes in the 5th and the 6th. Looking for a 3rd. Leaves it too far out to the right, gets 9, leaving the head pin. Defiance, lane number 3, hits way heavy. Gets 9, leaves the 10 pin. He's fortunate. Riley with a strike on lane number 2 for Napoleon. Carly with a strike for Napoleon girls. Ashton picking up his spare. Gets it. Ella Fox up for Napoleon, lane number 5. That one's heavier. Leaves the 4 pin. Heather McMahon had a strike in the 7th. Defiance light on lane number 6. Gets some fortunate pin action. Leaves just the 7. Defiance on lane number 7. Gets 6. Leaving the 2, 4, 5, 10. Ella picked up her spare. Over to the boys match. We got Michael Gallagher coming up on lane number 1, but first Defiance picks up their spare on lane 4, followed by Jacob Hull. There's a strike for strike for Michael, but unfortunately a split for Jacob. He leaves the 7-10. Riley Ayler's up for Napoleon, lane 1. I see 3 strikes in the previous frames. Add 1 more to that total. Jacob trying for damage control here. Takes out the 10, about all he can do. Preston Miller coming up for Napoleon on lane number 4. Defiance, 9, leaves the 10 on lane 2. Ashton on lane 3 first, though, for Napoleon. Gets a strike. A lot of pin action on that one. Nice ball from Preston. No doubt on that one. Defiance on lane 1. Gets 9. Can't get the 4 pin to fall. Defiance up on lane number 3. Jacob waiting his turn over on lane number 4 for Napoleon. 9 for Defiance. 10 pin won't go down. Jacob. Strike. Michael gets 8, leaving the 2-10. Defiance picks up their spare. Got Ashton, lane number 4. Little light, gets 8, leaving the 4-8. And Michael picks up the 2-10. Nice spare for Michael Gallagher for Napoleon. Riley Ahlers, lane number 2. Another strike for Riley. Riley's a freshman this year. Ashton picks up his spare, lane number 4. Jalen Rupel gets 8 on lane number 8, leaving the 2-8. Defiance picks up 9, leaving the 4 pin or the 2 pin on lane number 7. Jalen, spare attempt. Gets it. That's a spare in the 9th for Jalen Rupel. Lane 7 and 8 are on lane 9 or on frame number 9. The girls on lane 5 and 6 are in the 7th frame. Boys look like they're just finishing up the 10th frame. Defiance on lane 2. That's a strike. He'll finish with a 205. Got another Defiance bowler finish with a 189. Defiance with a split, 210. Defiance on lane number 2. That's a split. Or no. Nope, I'm sorry. It's just one pin. Just the 6 pin. I thought he had left the 7, but it went down. Preston picks up his spare. Defiance picks up their spare. He'll get an extra ball. Defiance can't complete the frame in lane number 4. Riley with another strike over there on lane 1 to start his 10th frame. Preston gets 9. Preston finishes with an impressive 216. Michael Gallagher finishes with a 206. Jacob Hull up on lane number 3. Riley with a second ball in the 10th. Another strike. Another strike for Jacob. Jacob's working on a strike in the 9th, and he's got a strike for his first ball in the 10th. Riley to round out his second game. Another strike. Riley Ehlers finishes with a 257. Good game, Riley. Defiance is, as I said, the 4th bowler for Defiance finished with a 189. 5th bowler finished with a 139. 2nd bowler for Defiance, a 195. 3rd bowler for Defiance finished with a 150. So we've got just Napoleon boys finishing up. Switch back to the girls just for a moment. Jalen with 9 on lane number 7. Abby can't get the spare to fall in lane number 8, or I'm sorry, lane number 5 in the 8th frame. Defiance with a strike on lane number 6. Jalen Rupel finishes with 181. Carly Hohenbrink up on lane number 5. Can't get the 10 pin to fall. Defiance hangs one out there, can't get the spare. Heather McMahon getting ready to start her 10th frame. And the 5 pin goes down for a strike. Carly looking for her spare. Gets it. Spare for Carly in the 8th. All right, Jacob Hull to complete his 10th frame. He got a 7 on his 2nd ball in the 10th. Ella Fox with 9, leaving the 4 pin on lane number 5. Jacob picks up 2 of them for a 191 for Jacob Hull. Abby gets 9 on lane number 6, leaves the 7 pin. Ashton Kiesling, lane number 3. Ella gets her spare, lane 5. Strike for Ashton. Heather, 9, leaves a 10 pin on lane number 7. She finishes with a 213. Abby can't get the spare to fall. Ashton, second ball, 10th frame. Another strike. 2 in a row in the 10th for Ashton. Defiance gets 9 on lane number 5 for the girls, leaving the 5 pin. Carly, a little light, gets 7, leaves the 2-4-10. Last ball, Ashton gets 9. Ashton finishes with a 227. Good game for Napoleon boys. Defiance pulls her shot, can't convert. Tricky little spare attempt here for Carly Hohenbrink. Nope, just gets the 2. Carly finishes with a 1-8, or no, I'm sorry. Carly's only in the 9th frame. Defiance splits, leaves the 7-10. Ella up for Napoleon, lane number 6. Breaks hard, leaves 2. The 4 and the 7. Defiance can't pick up either one. Defiance girls over on the other lane finished with a 125, a 108, and a 204. Ella picks up her spare on lane number 6. Napoleon girls getting ready to start the 10th frame. The boys getting ready to start their bakers. If you'll recall, high school matches consist of 2 sets of individual games, 5 players each, followed by 3 games of bakers where the bowlers take turn bowling frames. Total pins wins the match. Abby Detmer gets 6 to start the 10th frame, leaves the 2-4-5-8. Defiance gets 9, can't get that 10 pin to fall. That 10 pin has been a nuisance for everybody today. Nice spare from Abby. She'll get one more in the 10th. All right. So the boys, we have Michael Gallagher, 206. Jacob Hull, 191. Preston Miller for 216. Ashton Kiesling, 227. And Riley Ehlers for 257. For a total of 1097 for the boys. Defiance had 205, 195, 150, 189, and 139 for a total of 878. Carly Hohenbrink, first ball, 10th frame, gets the strike. Napoleon starts off with back-to-back strikes for the boys in the Baker game. As soon as the girls' match finishes, we'll switch over there. Carly with another strike. That's back-to-back strikes in the 10th for Carly. James Gherkin had an 8 in the 3rd frame for Napoleon, leaving the 6-10. Defiance can't convert their spare in the first frame of the first baker. Gets a total of 8. James picks up his spare. Carly with her third ball in the 10th. Gets 8. That's a good place to leave that in the end of the 10th frame. Carly finishes with a 2-11. Ashton Kiesling gets 9, leaving the 7 pin for the boys. Fourth frame of the bakers. Ella, a little heavy, gets 8, leaves the 6-10. Defiance got 9 on their first ball in the second frame. Picks up the spare. Ella with her second ball gets the spare. And Ashton gets his spare over on lane number 3. Defiance with 8 for the boys, leaving the 6-10. Ella's last ball underway. Strike. Ella finishes with a 157. Jacob Hull, little light, leaves the 1-2. Defiance with her spare attempt in the third. Gets it. Jacob, spare attempt underway. Gets it. All right, girls scores. Heather McMahon had a 213. Abby Detmer, 155. Ella Fox, 157. Jalen Rubel, 181. Carly Hohenbrink, a 211 for a total of 917. Defiance, 151, 125, 125, 108, and 204 for a 713 total. All right, Riley's up for Napoleon. He gets a strike. It's in the 7th frame. Defiance, this is their 5th frame in the baker. First baker, a little heavy, gets 9, leaves the head pin. James Gherkin up for Napoleon. Strike. James is one of our seniors. The last 3 frames have been strikes for Napoleon. Ashton Kiesling looking to keep it going. Make that 4. Defiance can't convert their spare. Jalen gets a spare to start out the Napoleon girls. We'll switch as soon as Jacob finishes bowling the 10th frame. Abby Detmer is the next girl up for Napoleon. Jacob with his ball on the 10th. Gets a strike. Abby, 9, can't get the 10 pin to fall. Defiance, 6th frame. Goes through the nose, leaving the 2-6. Abby, spare ball underway, converts. Jacob, second ball, 10th frame, strike. Napoleon with an impressive first baker game here for the boys. Carly Hohenbrink gets 9. Leaves the 6 pin. Jacob, last ball, first game. Another strike. Napoleon finished with a 255 in the first Baker game. Carly, spare temp coming. Picks it up. Carly is a freshman this year. Next up is Ella Fox from Napoleon. Defiance looking to convert their girls looking to convert their spare. Lane number 8 does so. A little heavy, but they all fall down for Ella. That's a strike in the 4th for Napoleon. In the number 5 slot for Napoleon, Heather Mcmahon. Heather's a senior this year. Ball's underway. Right in the pocket for a strike. Defiance boys with 9 left the 5 pin. They're in the 9th frame. Jalen Rupel. 2nd frame for her in this Baker game. 9. Leaves the 10 pin. Defiance hits light. Leaves the 1, 2, 4, 8. Defiance boys picked up their spare in the 9th frame. Heather converts, Jalen converts the 10 pin. Defiance looking to convert their spare, does so. Nice ball. Defiance starts the 10th with 9, left the 10 pin. Abby Detmer up for Napoleon on lane number 7. She's another of our seniors. We have 2. Ends up splitting, leaves the 210. A little extra loft from Defiance on lane number 8, but it works for a strike. Tough little split here for Abby Detmer. It looks, oh, that looked good, but just bit a little too hard. Can't pick up either one of them. Good try, Abby. All right, Defiance ends the first, boys end with a 146, so that's first Baker match between Napoleon and Defiance, 255 to 146. Carly Hohenbrink, frame number 8. Hits a little heavy, 610. Gets 8. Carly trying to convert here. Does so. Nice ball. Michael Gallagher starts out with an 8, but it's a split. 8-10. The 10 wobbled, but it wouldn't go down. We'll switch over to the boys here in just a minute. Ella hits heavy, ends up leaving the 4, 6, 7, 10. Tough break. You just aim for either the left or the right side and take your 2. Michael can't convert. He gets one of them. Defiance with 6 over on lane 8. Ella picks the right side, but she ends up chopping. She leaves 3. Heather comes up to finish the 10th frame. Heather's first ball underway. She gets a strike. Riley got 9 on his first attempt for the boys. Left the 10 pin. Gets it. Uses every part of the lane, but he gets it. Defiance hits heavy for the boys, leaving the 3-6. James Gherkin hits heavy. 4-6-10. The 7 went down, but still a tough split. Heather hits heavy, leaves the 6-10. Switching over to the boys. Heather's last ball underway. She converts, and Napoleon finishes with a 176. Defiance with 85. So the first girls Baker, 176 Napoleon to 85. James, spare attempt. Looks like he's just going to try and take the 2, but it lets it drift a little bit too far right. Can't convert any of them. Ashton Kiesling coming up in the 4th frame for Napoleon boys. Pulls it, but it crosses over. Brooklyn gets the strike. Defiance gets their spare. That's in the 3rd frame. Fifth frame for Napoleon boys. Jacob Hall. Can't get the 10 pin to go down. 9 for Jacob. Over on the other side for Defiance, they can't convert or can't get the 6 pin to fall, so they get 9. Jaylyn starts out the girls in the 2nd Baker game with a strike. Defiance picks up their spare. Jacob, spare ball underway, gets it. Abby Detmer gets 9, leaves the 2 pin. Defiance is light, gets 4. Defiance boys, 9, leave a 6 pin again. Abby with her spare attempt. On the way. Hangs it a little too far inside, misses it. Defiance, spare attempt, picks it up. We've got Carly Hohenbrink up for Napoleon, lane number 8. 3rd frame. Oh, 10 pin again. Gets 9. Defiance. That's a little too far right. It's light. Picks up 3. Michael Gallagher, his first ball, gets 8, leaves the 1-2. Carly picked up her spare. Defiance gets 9, leaves another 6-pin. Michael with his spare attempt. Picks it up. And we've got a strike for Heather McMahon. And a strike for Defiance on lane number 7. Spencer Schweiger up in the 5th frame for Napoleon girls. Good looking ball for a strike. And Defiance boys just got a strike over on lane number 3. Looks like we might be having lane issues for on lane number 4. We'll switch back. Jalen Rupel. There's a strike for Jalen, lane number 8. Last 3 frames have been strikes for the Napoleon's girls. Defiance can't convert their spare on lane number 7. Abby Detmer coming up on lane number 8, frame number 7. Gets 9, leaves that 10-pin. Defiance's boys got a strike to start the 10th frame. Abby Detmer, loses it to the right. Can't convert the 10. Oh. Carly Hohenbrink up for the girls, lane number 8 for Napoleon. Got to move, leaves the 10-pin. Looks like Napoleon boys are bowling again. Riley got 9, leaving the 7-pin. Picks up the 7-pin. Carly picks up her 10-pin for a spare for Napoleon girls in the 8th frame. James Gherkin, lane number 4 for Napoleon boys. Gets him to fall. It's a strike for Napoleon. Heather McMahon up for the girls, lane number 8, Napoleon. Defiance girls got 9 on their first ball. That's a strike for Heather. Strike in the 9th for Heather McMahon. Defiance can't convert their spare in the 9th frame. Spencer Schweiger. Yep. Ashton Kiesling just had a strike for the boys over on in the second Baker game for them. Spencer Schweiger, strike to start the 10th. Jacob up for Napoleon. First ball, 10th frame. Gets 9, leaves the 10-pin. Spencer Schweiger coming up, second ball, 10th frame. Meanwhile, Defiance girls got 9 to start their 10th frame. Defiance boys finish with a 156, game number 2. Spencer gets the strike. Jacob gets the spare. Defiance girls get their spare in the 10th. Jacob, final ball, 10th frame. Gets the strike. Spencer's up, lane number 8. Last ball of her 10th frame. Down go the pins. Strike for Napoleon with a 2:15 for the second Baker game. Defiance loses theirs to the right. They will finish with a 128. Napoleon boys finished with a 179 in the second Baker game. That's 179 Napoleon to 156 for the boys. And for the girls, it's 215 to 128. Take a short break in the action here as the teams confer. They'll decide which side they want to bowl on. A little strategy. All right, looks like Michael Gallagher is going to start it off for the boys. Frame number 1. Jalen Rupel starts it off for the Napoleon girls with a strike. Michael's ball is underway. He starts out with a strike. Abby Detmer up for Napoleon girls. Defiance boys start out with 8. They leave a split. Looks like the 6-7. Riley Ehlers with a strike for Napoleon. Abby leaves the 1-2-4-7. That's back-to-back strikes for the Napoleon boys team. Defiance tries to make their spare, misses both of them. Abby steps up for her spare attempt. James Gherkin loses his ball to the right. Abby picks up 3 out of the 4. Defiance boys. Oh, the 10 wobbles, but it won't go down. Leaves the 8-10 split. James, much better looking second ball. Picks up 9, leaves the 10 pin. Defiance picks up 1. Heather McMahon up for Napoleon girls. Working on a strike in the 3rd frame with another strike from Heather for back-to-back strikes. This looks like Preston Miller. He got 8 on his first ball, left the 4-7. He just picks up the 7, leaves the 4. It's 2 opens for Napoleon. Meanwhile, Defiance. Oh, a strike for Spencer over for the girls on lane 8. Defiance picks up 3 out of the 5 that were left over on lane number 4. Ashton Kiesling up in the number 5 slot. A little heavy, gets 7. Leaves the 6, 9, 10. Jalen Rupel with another strike for Napoleon girls. Defiance pulls it left. Abby Detmer. just a touch light, leaves a 2-pin. Ashton can't convert any of the 3. Michael Gallagher up for the boys. On the way, gets the strike. Abby Detmer takes aim at her spare. Nudges it for a spare. Brian Boys with a strike. Riley Ehlers up. His ball's on the way. 9 leaves a 10-pin. Carly Hohenbrink up for the girls on lane 8. Crosses over, gets 8. Leaves the 3-6. Defiance girls get 9, leave the 5-pin. Riley can't pick up his 10-pin. Defiance boys convert their spare on lane number 4. Carly picks up her spare, lane number 8. James Gherkin with 9, leaving the 8-pin over on lane 3. Next, we got Heather McMahon for the girls up on lane 8. Nice ball for a strike for Heather McMahon. Defiance girls get 9, leave the 5-pin. Defiance boys trying to clean up. They've got 2 left on lane 4. They get them. This is James Gherkin trying to pick up his 8-pin. Got it. Spencer Schweiger, a strike to start the 10th. Switch back to the boys. Preston Miller, 9th frame. Underway. A little heavy. Switching back. Spencer with her second ball, 10th frame. Preston leaves the 2, 6, 9, 10 or 2, 5. Yeah, 2, 6, 9, 10. Another strike for Spencer. All right, Preston's trying to pick up his spare here. 9th frame. Got him. All right, Spencer Schweiger, last ball, 10th frame. This is the 3rd Baker game. Good shove for a strike. Napoleon girls finish with a 235 in the game, Baker game number 3. Ashton Kiesling starts the 10th with a strike. Defiance pulls it, gets 7, leaves the 1-3-9. Defiance girls have a spare in the 10th. Last ball for Defiance girls. Ashton Kiesling, light, nudges the head pin, can't get it to fall. Gets 9. Spare for Defiance in the 9th frame. Defiance girls get a strike in their fill ball to finish out the 10th frame. 235 for Napoleon girls, 111 for Defiance girls. Ashton finishes with a spare, 148 for Napoleon boys. Defiance has a spare working in the 9th. Final bowler. Gets 9, leaves the 10 pin. All right, so Napoleon finishes the match. They had 972 and 917 in the, or 872 and 917 in the individual games, with Baker games of 176, 215, and 235 for a Baker total of 626 and a team total of 2515. Defiance girls had Bakers of 85, 128, and 111 for a Baker total of 324. They had 752 and 713 for a total of 1465. Team total of 1789. Napoleon girls win by 726 pins. And Defiance boys finish open. They finished with a 138. So Napoleon wins the last, or 148 for the Napoleon boys, 138 for the Defiance boys. As soon as I get the boys' totals, we'll announce them. Once again, we'd like to thank you guys for joining the live stream. Next match is tomorrow. We have a tournament over in Bryan, Ohio that both the boys and the girls will be at. Appreciate you joining that stream. Show your support. All right, looks like coaches are still talking, so we will post the final scores for the boys' match on YouTube underneath the video. Appreciate you guys for joining us. This will conclude our broadcast for today, and I am out of here. Thank you.